Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Jess in the Flesh. If you don't know, my name is Jess. I am a 22-year-old person who likes the internet and things and doing creative things online. I've had a YouTube channel for like 5 years, and I've dabbled in a bunch of different areas like podcasting, blogging, and the sorts. So today's episode, we're going to be focusing on how to get out of a creative rut, which is something I think we all struggle with from time to time. But anyway, let's just get the ball rolling. We got some music first, and then I'll tell you about my week. Then we have our weekly segments, a fun karaoke moment. Don't want to miss that. And also, just all of this insight on how to get out of a creative rut. So, to kick things off, we have got some good songs, everyone. First, we have Spaceship by Art Society. Besides Spaceship by Art Sorority, we also have Pretend by Goody Grace, as well as Leaving London by Stefan Argus. Alright, guys, I am back again with some commentary. So, first we're going to kick things off with me just talking about my week. Just for my own therapeutic needs. Side note, didn't mention this earlier, but I cannot see anyone commenting live right now because I only have one monitor system, and I kind of just need to see and maneuver the live stream. So I am inept at seeing anything you are saying. So keep that in mind. Also, so this week, well, I was slightly bitter because remember how I mentioned I took 4 hours on that take-home exam? I got an 89, and I was kind of mad, but it's fine. I'll get over it. And it's annoying because I also have an 89 in the class. So, I hope that it goes to a 90 because your girl wants the A-, okay? I'm striving for the A-. Also, to occupy my time, I've been learning some more TikTok dances, okay? We're thriving. There's one I was learning. I was sweating. It was intense, okay? I was doing one not just with arms, no, but with legs too. Don't remember which one it was, so I can't really tell you, but you have to trust me on this one. You really just have to trust me. Also, this week has just been a lot slower when it comes to like schoolwork and stuff. I haven't had too many things due. I just turned in a sculpture assignment, which was my last one, so yay, I'm done with doing sculpture from home. Super. Even though most of the ones I did were on this program called Sculptress, which is like a digital sculpting thing, which was pretty interesting to use. And then the other ones for that class, basically, I had to go into nature and like make something out of natural objects that I found. And so that was something else. But yeah, besides that, I only have to do one final exam on Monday. I have another exam that's technically not a final, but that's on Sunday. And I also have a paper that's due next Thursday. But the thing about that is, I already have written the rough draft, like a long time ago. I just need to make edits and then submit it. So it shouldn't be too complex. And yeah, I also just like have to do painting because I'm doing painting. I'm working on these really big paintings and they're just taking my soul away from me. It's not that I don't enjoy them, but like the subject matter I'm over with because as I feel like I mention in every single episode, I get bored so easily. And so I give up on a lot of things that I'm working on because I have the attention span of something. I don't know. I was trying to make an analogy. It didn't come to mind. Because of this, I've lost all wit about me. I'm at my wit's end. Haha, I'm so funny. But anyway, yeah. But as of right now, I'm kind of just trying to think of ways to occupy my time, especially after all of these last assignments are done, because then I am done with school potentially forever, because I may or may not go to grad school depending on finding a job within the next year, but we shall see. But yeah, I've also been keeping up with my Chloe Ting workouts. Yeah, I was doing the Hourglass program. It's going well. I am almost done. I have like 5-6 more days left, I think. But then I'm going to start a new one. The thing about this one is that I don't like is that it's mostly focused on the booty and not so much on the abs. And additionally, I don't feel like I'm working as hard because there's not as much cardio as in past programs I've done by her. Like the first Hourglass program I did worked me harder than this one. So I'm a little upset. Unless I'm just getting stronger and better, and that's how I'm just interpreting it. But as of right now, that's how I'm feeling. But yeah. Another interesting factoid. You know how we did the Obscurify thing last week or 2 weeks ago? Oh yeah, sorry. I'll fill you in. Last week, I didn't come on. I was not in the best mindset, and I was just very stressed out. And so, yeah, I just dipped out on myself, and probably because I was bored again. It's so bad. But anyway, that's why I wasn't there. But anyway, 2 weeks ago, in Lost Episode 2, I'm calling it the Lost Episode because I've literally no footage from that episode. Lost Episode 2, I looked at my Obscurify score, which is, if you don't know, is like this website that statistically calculates how obscure your music is. And mine, no. It went to more obscure than it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, it said it was, I don't remember, either 63 or 64%. Now, it is 70%, and I shall provide you evidencia. Okay? See right there. 70%. So, get wrecked. But anyway, that was all I have to say for now. But basically that score confirms that I am justified into being a music snob, and it explains why I really don't like a lot of people's music choices and taste of today. But that's a me problem, so I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, we're gonna get back to some more music now. So we're kicking it off with my ultimate icons, the only thing I ever fangirled over, the only band that mattered to me in my youth. We have Please Be Mine by the Jonas Brothers. Besides Please Be Mine by the Jonas Brothers, we also have Night Song by Bayside, What He Don't Know by Ann Arbor, and Dirty Imbecile by the Happy Fits. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the musical selections so far. I always enjoy them because I get to choose them all on my own now. Because, like, if you didn't know, I used to do campus radio at my college. And so it was always very collective. And we mostly just played classic rock. Don't get me wrong, I love classic rock. But at the same time, you know, I like to change it up. So, anyway. Now we're on to the meat and potatoes of the episode. Basically, we're going to be talking about ways to get out of a creative rut. So, let's get this started. Basically, the first thing that I recommend you do is to, like, take a step back and do mundane tasks. Maybe tasks you might not really want to do, like, I don't know, clean something or cook or, you know, basically do things where you don't have to actually have as much like thought processing, like you don't take as much thought processing to do them, like you're not mentally invested in those things like as much, like you can just like do them and you let your mind wander. Because a lot of the time, at least for me, like I always get my best ideas when I'm not thinking about getting ideas. Because I feel like if you're thinking about, like, oh, I need an idea for this, what am I doing next? Like, there's a lot of pressure that you're putting on yourself, and it almost limits how creative you can be, just from how you're going about it. So, you know, taking a step back is always a good thing to try to do. Another thing that I think is very interesting and a good method to opening up your creative mind once more is changing up your routine a little bit. Whether it's something small, whether it's something big. Like, okay, let's just say hypothetically, you take walks every day and you go the same direction every single time. Maybe one day you're like, I'm going to try to go this way this time. Because new environments, help new thoughts and ideas prosper. Because if you're doing the same old thing, you're kind of just like limiting yourself. Not just creatively, but in other ways too. Gotta make the most out of life. Also, just find people and things that inspire you. Make a Pinterest board, okay? And then draw from that when you don't really know what to do. Because if you have a bunch of different things that you like, you can experiment, try some things out, fail a little bit. And I feel like you also just learn from your failures too. That's kind of the whole good thing about failures. When you fail, it's like a learning experience. So you still get something out of it, even if it doesn't go as perfectly as you planned it initially. All right. But yeah, so make a Pinterest board or just find some artists, YouTubers, podcasters, people in your creative avenue that you look up to, that you really aspire to be. Having those people kind of just encourages you in a sense, because you're like, oh, this is what they're doing. Maybe I can try it and change it a little bit and make it my own. But you still have something to go off of, so you're not just jumping off the deep end. All right. Also, last point before I'm going back to more musical bops, and then we'll get to the rest of these. But learn something new. Learn a new activity or skill, something you always wanted to try. If you put yourself in a position where you're not an expert yet, you're open to learning things, and when you're learning things, ideas can develop from that. Or even just learning history, learning fun facts, be open to learning new things and seek out new things to learn if you don't get them that stimulated in everyday life. Especially if you're a student and school is ending soon. You gotta stimulate your mind, okay? Because the more information that you have and the more knowledge base that you acquire, the more different connections in your brain and more things you can draw from for inspiration within you. So that's my little rant for now. But anyway, guess what time it is, everyone? It's time for our karaoke moment of the week. This week I will be singing Cut My Lip by 21 Pilots. I really like this song. It's my favorite song off of Trench. Don't come at me. But anyway, I just think it's pretty optimistic and reggae vibe, and it gives me good vibes because it's you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep going on, even though times are tough right now. So this one's for you, people. I'm sorry. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Alright, so this is me just singing my little heart out to cut my lip. Terribly, but here are just some highlights of other things I say throughout this. Mail me. So I forgot to mention, if you're at home, you can sing along and vibe with me. This is just for fun, and I know that I'm not the best singer. This is just good vibes, y'all. Sorry, I have a live studio audience. Anyway, we're just gonna continue with music right now. So, up next, we have Lights Up by Harry Styles. Besides Lights Up by Harry Styles, I also played Anyone by Demi Lovato and Cheer Up Charlie by Social Animals, as well as 2016 by Sleeping Sunset. Okay, guys. So, we're back with more commentary. This is more of, the meat and potatoes. This is part 2 of the meat and potatoes. I have 4 more suggestions to allow you to get out of a creative rut. My next suggestion is to start journaling. If you're kind of just writing down a stream of consciousness of like how you're thinking and how you're feeling and like given moments in your life, like, you know, you could come up with an idea as you're writing, or you could even come up with an idea by looking back at your past writings, by like getting an idea from yourself from the past, which I think is kind of fascinating, actually. Also, second suggestion is to work on multiple projects simultaneously. So if you're working on one project and you get stuck, you have another one to work on, and vice versa. And by doing that and working on a different project, the other one that you're not stuck on, the one that you're stuck on, you're taking a step back, which is kind of related to one of the steps I said earlier. So you can look at it from like more of an outside perspective, because you're not so invested in that one thing and you have just a broader, clearer perspective. And also, you're being productive by getting something else done while you're stuck. Just a thought. Also, a third tip that I have is to create a master list of ideas. I do this when it comes to YouTube videos and things. So basically, I have a Google Doc with so many different ideas, like over 100 different things that I've thought of to make videos on. Most of them don't end up being videos, but if you make a list listing every single idea, whether or not like it's really crazy or it's kind of dumb, you just list all your ideas down, and you could look at that as a source for inspiration. It's also similar like with the journaling, like you look to your past self for inspiration, but this is like specifically geared toward what you're kind of trying to make. And even if one of those ideas is kind of like crap or just really dumb, it could help you think of a different idea from that previous idea that wasn't as hot. So yeah. And so yeah, when you need an idea, you can just consult that list and it'll help you out. And also, if you like write an idea on that list as soon as you have it, it'll help you not forget some good ideas. Because definitely I've had ideas for videos and podcasts and things that I was like, yes, that'd be such a good idea, and I don't write it down, and then I forget, and then I get mad at myself. So this method will like prevent you from, regretting it later, from forgetting your idea. You just have to remember to write it down. But yes, you should do that. And my last main suggestion is to just start working. A lot of things creatively don't really need a foundation or a set idea to be good. Like, a lot of things don't. I mean, obviously some things do, but also some things don't. For example, especially when it comes to making physical artwork, right? When I don't have an idea of what I want to draw or paint, I'll just sit there and just start doodling and just go intuitively, and it could turn into something really cool looking, and it can give you an idea from there, or that in itself can just be what it is. Not all art has to have meaning. It can just be about form and how it looks aesthetically. And either way, you're getting some practice out of it. So even if it doesn't turn out good, like I said earlier, failures help you learn, which gives you more knowledge, which is more things you can draw from for ideas. It's a big cycle of creative juices a-flowing. All right. So anyway, those were all of my tips. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Any other suggestions on how to get out of a creative rut, or you can talk in the chat if you're watching live amongst your peers, because I can't see your comments like I said previously. But yeah, so do that if you want. And If you want more advice on the subject of creativity or any specific creative like path in general, whether it be YouTube, podcasting, physical art, let me know. I'm open to compiling some suggestions and advice that I may have. So anyway, we're going to keep the ball rolling with some music. Up next, we have Pictures of Girls by Wallows. Alright, guys, so hope you've enjoyed the music. Guess who is coming? Okay, we have a special plot twist this episode. Initially, this was just going to be me, but my father graciously decided to join me to take some Buzzfeed quizzes. So, welcome, Thomas. Come, Thomas. Oh!
Hello.
Messing up my setup. You have anything to say to the people?
I do not.
Okay, nothing?
Nope.
Nothing.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's do this. So let's look at these quizzes. Let's see which one calls to your needs.
Is it going to be a generation thing?
What do you mean a generation thing?
A thing where I feel like I don't know any answer because I'm old?
No, this is like personality quizzes. This isn't like you're actually being like
it's not a trivia
graded
quiz, in other words.
No.
It's a personality thing.
Yes. So we're just going to look for something that's ultimately iconic. Let's see. Do you think we can guess your exact age based on your turn-ons and turn-offs?
That's probably not a good one for me. I'm not feeling that one, honey. Let's go with a different
What is it going to say that you're 75?
Exactly.
I think that's what it would say. Would you eliminate the same Glee characters? I know you're very knowledgeable on Glee. I'm kidding.
Is that a Trump thing? Why don't we do that one?
It says, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure half Americans won't be able to pass this quiz. This one's knowledge-based. This one's not a personality-based.
We can see if we can do that. Like, who's the vice president of the United States?
Well, if half of Americans won't be able to pass this quiz,
I guess we probably won't.
we are definitely below half of Americans when it comes to American knowledge. The father of our country? Who is the father of our country,
George
Dad?
Washington. Why, of course.
What are the first words of the Constitution? We the people.
Yeah.
How many amendments are there to the U.S. Constitution? 27, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Who becomes president if both the president and vice president are unable to serve?
Speaker of the House, right?
Speaker of the House? I don't even know. I've never heard of that.
Not the president pro forma.
The Attorney General?
Yeah, go Attorney General. That's probably a better answer.
Oh, no, you were right. Speaker of the House. You were right.
I was right, so I get credit for that.
Okay, I don't know anything about the government, so this is really the perfect quiz for me. How many members make up the House of Representatives? 200, 100, 435, or 365? I don't know. 365.
There's 2 senators.
I'm literally this is.
No, it's either 200 or 435 because there's 2 senators. That's the Senate. I'm gonna go 435.
Oh wow! Look at him. What a wealth of knowledge. Maybe you do have wisdom.
How many years do U.S. senators serve? Senators are. Is it 4 or 6?
Option.
I want to say 4.
4?
Yeah.
It's 6.
Mom was right.
Momsy mom. My mother, the other studio audience member, said that it was 6, and she was correct. Which is of these was not one of the original colonies. Ohio.
Yeah, definitely Ohio. That was easy.
The First Amendment guarantees the right to what? Bear arms, happiness, freedom of speech, or vote.
The First Amendment.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, it was freedom of speech. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Thomas Jefferson.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was easy.
Why does the flag have 13 stripes? 13 colonies?
Yes.
Yeah. Which of these states borders Canada? We're gonna know. Pennsylvania, Illinois, or Indiana? Isn't it Indiana? Or no, Illinois, right?
Yeah, Illinois.
What?
What was it?
Pennsylvania borders Canada?
Really?
Apparently.
Interesting.
Shares a water border with Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Who knew? Which of these is a power that typically belongs to the states? Ability to print money, ability to raise an army, ability to create immigration laws, or the ability to regulate elections? I don't know.
What belongs to the state? I'm going to say...
Regulate elections? Because, I mean, I'm thinking of, like, local elections.
Well, local elections, yeah, but...
But you can't create immigration laws for your state, right?
You can't create an army. You can't print money because it's a federal. It got to be that. Yeah. All right, we got it.
We passed. We scored higher than 56% of
9 out of 12.
Look at us, Dad.
And the ones we didn't get right, we had the right answer, but we answered wrong. Like I got the one right, and Mom got the other one right.
Mm-hmm. That's what they all say.
So we really got 11 out of 12. So we're pretty smart.
How about this? This one sounds fun. Can you spend over $5,000 at this really, really expensive grocery store?
Oh, sure.
Let's try to spend over $5,000, Dad.
Okay.
Bank. Grab a wheel of cheese from the deli. We're going to go with the whole wheel Parmesan, the Manchego, the whole wheel Gruyere, provolone, Comte cheese, or the whole wheel of Jarrisburg.
I'm going to go with the Gru thing to the right.
The Gru thing.
Whatever the heck that is.
Meat is pretty expensive. Add something to your cart. Steak, ham, counting here. We go. What do you think, steak is the most expensive, or lamb, or veal? Veal?
I'm gonna go steak.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, we'll go with what you say, since you're the guest. All right. Produce. Produce aisle. 10-pound box of dried cherries. Saffron. I just always think of Ratatouille when I hear saffron. Acai powder, goji berries, jackfruit.
What the heck is jackfruit?
I don't know. Then we'll just go with that.
Okay.
What are you going to snag from this odd collection of goods? 1 gallon of vanilla extract, 1 pound bag of spirulina powder, 25 pounds of walnuts or caviar.
Oh, definitely caviar is the most expensive. That's easy.
Choose a fancy oil. Olive oil, sesame oil, hazelnut, or infused olive oil. Which one do you think is the most money? We say hazelnut.
I think hazelnut oil is probably the most expensive. I've already guessed.
Lastly, which of these cereal boxes has a mystery product? Choose the one. Correct one to win an extra $750. This is a trick question.
Mystery product.
Mystery prize of $750. Which one do you think would have the potential for the moolah?
I'm gonna go Reese's Puffs. What do you think?
Sure, we'll go Reese's Puffs. I feel like it'd probably be cornflakes though, because they're so bland. But we'll go Reese's Puffs. Nope, we did not spend $5,000. We spent $2,290.
We weren't even close.
It said you got so close.
We weren't that close.
They're just trying to make us feel better, boost our self-esteem, you know.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, that was it for that segment. Do you have anything else to say to the people?
Was BuzzFeed an epic fail for us? Well, we did good with the quiz. That was a good recap.
Well,
9 out of 12 is good.
Yes, for the American one.
I disagree with the spending money because our grocery bill has been through the roof lately with the COVID thing. So.
Well, this was made before that, Dad.
And I really know how to spend some serious cash. So I don't know. We might have to try that one again. Maybe.
This was
maybe we should have did that at the local shop, right? Maybe we would have hit the number instead. Of the expensive stuff. But anyway, that's my comment. Anyway, that's all we got. You gonna play some more tunes?
No.
Oh.
I'm on to my weekly segments now, Father.
Oh, what are you gonna do now?
Before we do our weekly segments, though, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions because you are a guest. I might as well ask you some things.
Sure.
So, do you personally have any advice that is related to the topic of getting out of creative rut, or no?
The topic of getting creative. Well, it all comes down to the creative side of your brain, which I don't really have a creative side of the brain, right? So I'm more of a factual, to the point, organized, detailed, get things done type of person. So for me, it's very tiring and has a lot of energy to get the creative side out. But some things do help me. Like when you mentioned the very first thing where you just totally do something else. Like for me, ideas pop into my head when I'm not thinking of what I need to get done. And that's the creative piece. Like if you're taking a shower or going for a walk or mowing the lawn or not thinking about something, it's amazing what comes to your brain in focus that way. The other thing I would say too, I would say encourage daydreaming to a sense, right? Where you just like don't think of anything. And sometimes when you're thinking too closely on one thing, things pop into your head, and a lot of that comes from just daydreaming, But other than that, I'm just not creative, and it's something that I've struggled with to break into that creative side, But that's all I have as far as tips. But I think you got most of them.
Yeah. And I think it was good hearing from your perspective, because I know we took that that personality quiz thing that tells you like the colors and like the 4 quadrants, what like
HBDI,
how your HBDI, like your thinking patterns and stuff. And since you are completely opposite from how I think, it is interesting to hear from your perspective like which methods work the best for you, because you tend to not think as creatively, like you're not in the yellow quadrant, whereas I am superiorly in the yellow quadrant. So
exactly.
Yeah. So that was good to hear from your perspective.
Wonderful. Glad I can help.
Okay. Do you want to stay for weeklies or do you want to leave? This is now your decision.
I will leave now. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the time and the glamour and glitz.
The glamour. Okay. Right. Thomas is out now. So now it's time for my weekly segments. So these are the things that happen every single episode. Basically, we're starting with our weekly fun fact. And this week, the fun fact is that humans are the only animals that blush. There are no other species of living organisms or animals that do the action of blushing. This makes me want to pose the question, though, like, do other animals feel embarrassment? I think there needs to be some research done about that, because I'm very, very curious, okay? But yeah. So for the underrated artist spotlight of the week, I'm going to talk about a band that I've liked for about 2 years now. They're underrated, of course, because that is what this is for, the underrated spotlight. Basically, they are a New Jersey band that is like more modern folksy vibes, and they just make me happy. They soothe my soul when I'm sad. When I listen to them, I feel like I'm being wrapped in a warm blanket by the fire. So, yeah. And they're a New Jersey-based band, and their name is Cold Weather Company, and we are going to play them in. First, we have Gettysburg by Cold Weather Company. Besides Gettysburg by Cold Weather Company, we also had Wide-Eyed by them as well as Clover by Cold Weather Company, and finally, we had Fellow in the North, also by them as well. Alright, guys, so now I'm going to ask the question of the day, which I have got from my ask.fm account, so it's anonymous. And if you want to submit an anonymous question for this segment, you can at ask.fm/JessicaWise31, spelled JESSICAWYSE 31. So if you would like to submit a question, use that. Anyway, this week's question is, what's the best recent movie that you watched? Now, this question is phrased to you guys, the viewers or listeners, and you can answer in the comments or in the chat if you're live, or, it's also a question that I answer as well. So, my answer, and my father, I asked him to. We both watched this movie on Netflix a few weeks ago. It's called Clinical. The start of it was super slow, but it got extremely good. Basically, it's about this psychiatrist who had a patient who tried to kill herself in front of her, and it was like a trauma case. And then since then, because she experienced her own trauma, she was not taking any trauma patients until she took this one guy, and she slowly like becomes insane because of it. It's very, very good and interesting. It starts pretty slow, but it picks up and it's heightened, and it's really, really good and intense. So that's what I recommend. It's on Netflix. It's called Clinical. You should watch it. But anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of Jess in the Flesh. If you want to contact me on any social media, on both Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Jess in Flesh, spelled JESSINFLESH. So you can reach out to me there. Or if you want to reach out to my personal accounts, both my Instagram and Twitter are JessWise _ spelled JESSWYSE _. And so, yeah, I hope you guys really, really like this. I like doing this. So, yeah, come back next week and live your best lives. Over and out, y'all.